Well, good evening, everyone. How are you? Holy smokes, this is Rick. You know me. Welcome to the RAD live stream for February 5th, and what a live stream we got for you. I've got my two co-hosts backstage just getting warmed up. I'm going to bring them out in a second, but first I just wanted to say that I've been backstage chatting with our special guest, Rennie, and what an amazing guy. You know, I'd like to think I'm an excellent judge of character, and I could tell right away this is going to be something special. So, I've got a little bit of reverb going there. So let me, without further ado, let me bring in my partners in crime. Here's Mike. Welcome, Mike. And
what's going on, Slick Rick? Mr. Eric.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in.
The boys are back.
Dude.
We're back together.
Let me tell you something I've been missing for a long time. Barbara's back.
She is.
Barbara's back.
Let's call that.
Barbara's back.
Barbara's back.
Welcome back, Barbara.
What's up, Barbara? How you doing? And we have.
How's everybody doing? Keith, Alfred, Auto Spa, Dee Dee, Chris Murphy. I don't know who this Mike's Auto Detailing guy is.
I don't know who that guy is either. Forget him.
What is up? Johnny Bravo, everybody. Hope you guys are ready for an awesome, like Rick was saying, this is going to be fantastic, guys. I'm excited. We're all excited. I hope you're excited, that we're excited, that you're excited. So let's do it.
Heck yeah, this could be awesome tonight.
I have put way more work into these questions just because our guest has quite an illustrious detailing story.
Yeah, a little bit.
I was obsessing over these 10 questions. These ones are...
You've had some time to work on it.
Yeah, I have had some time to work on it. I got to say, Mike, I don't know how you got Rennie to agree to come on our little show here, but thanks for doing that. How did you do it?
No problem.
What'd you do?
Well, what I did is I borrowed Eric's credit card. I called up his assistant and well, originally we were supposed to have a date in, I think, either October or November, and something came up to where he was doing something that morning and he didn't feel that he was going to be out in time. So at the last minute, we had to change something. So then we had bookmarked this date to he was going to be available for us on this date. So he had made finally some arrangements to be here. And judging from what he has been going through the past week, he barely made this one because I see he's been flying through some snow and stuck in Chicago. And he went from sunny here to snow there to where he's at now.
Well, when you told me that we were hosting Rennie and then we decided we'd do it on my channel, I went to researching and I went down a Renny Doyle rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. There's a lot to learn. Rennie has got his fingers in every American pie there is. And I'm sure some Scandinavian and Canadian pies as well. And, what a resume.
Yeah.
And,
right.
We were talking with him and we were telling our audience consists of, we've got some pros out there, but what we've got a lot of is just enthusiasts who love cleaning cars and love helping their cars look their best. And what a guy to learn from.
Heck yeah.
Also, I reached out to Bucky, who in the chat is 𝗟𝗓𝗄𝗧. That's my good friend Bucky VW. And I said, Renny Doyle's coming on the show. And he was like, Rennie? And he spit me off a text with like 25 facts about Rennie.
Oh, really?
Pan
did the same thing too.
He knows everything about Rennie. He knows more about Rennie than he knows about me. That's for sure.
Oh, wow.
It's good to see. We've got Canadians. We've got some Canadians in the house tonight too.
Eric, the other Eric that's in this live, he just saw Rennie last weekend in Florida, and so he that's how Rennie had made his trip back to the West Coast because he was doing the MTE thing back in Florida.
Russia. We've got St. Petersburg, Russia. Thank you for your videos. Well, thank you for joining in.
What? That's amazing. I'll tell you, I've been hitting it off with the Russian viewers lately.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's because I'm half Ukrainian.
Привет.
Barbara.
Well, I might be Ukrainian. Sorry. I missed it.
All right. Well, what do you say? Should we bring Rennie in? And people didn't really tune in to see us. Let's bring Rennie in. Let's welcome Rennie.
Well, who is this guy? I don't even know who this guy is.
There he is.
What's going on?
Rennie.
What's up, guys? How you doing, man?
There he is. There we go.
Mic off there. We're doing good, Rennie. How are you, buddy?
Oh my God, I'm nervous. I mean, I heard about all these questions, and I'm like, this is so cool because first off, I got to say, Barbara, I heard a lot about you and Dee. So hi, Barbara. Hi, Dee. And Alex, dude, you do know too much about me, but I love it because you're one of the guys I watch a lot on social media. So I probably know about too much about you also. So
you didn't just say that. He is going to be crying. Did you hear that, Alex?
Oh yeah, I've learned to watch his stuff, man. He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. So it's and I heard Dee set you up big time, for you. So that was pretty cool, But the enthusiast is where it all starts. I mean, it's even if you're a pro, man. If you don't have the passion, I call it if you're a professional, it's double P. It's all about the passion and the profits. If you're an enthusiast, it's all about the passion.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just digging it, and looking back. I don't care if what you drive, if you look back in the parking lot and you think it looks good, and it's shiny, and it's what it's all about.
Heck yeah.
And a lot of times that passion does turn into profit, right?
That's exactly for me. I started out, I got a BMX bike over there that I started our company. I started dragging a wagon, an old beat up wagon behind my bike when I was 13 years old. And I started out, how I got noticed on that thing was it's chrome balling. I take chrome polish, nickel polish.
Wow.
I had the only bike and I grew up in a poor neighborhood. I had to keep it inside, but I kept it in the living room. It didn't go in the garage. It stayed in the living room.
Oh yeah.
Go to his garage, so send an ambulance over to Bucky's house. He thinks you just passed out.
CPR.
Yeah, he works in Alberta healthcare, so he might actually do some self CPR.
Yeah,
so,
that's pretty funny.
No reason to be nervous, Rennie. These questions are designed to for you to enjoy and for us to enjoy. Do you want to get started on it?
Heck yeah, man! I'm excited. I'm nervous. I say I'm nervous, but I think it's more anticipation. I talk to pros a lot, and it's just I feel like I get to take and I'd say let my hair down, but don't have a whole lot, so I won't do that. Exactly. Oh shit!
I just went and got a haircut just for this today.
Yeah. So it's cool to be able to take and relax and just talk to enthusiasts and talk, passion, right? We go back to that, love and cars and people, and that's what it's all about.
So question number one comes from my research. I could tell that you're a big relationship guy, forging those relationships. So here's question number one. What is the key ingredient to formulating deep and meaningful relationships?
Shut up and listen. Really learn about people. Take an interest in them as much as possible, and learn what their ticks are. Learn what really turns them on, and just what's their passion, and really take an interest in them, and actually just don't try to sell them anything. Don't try to bullshit. Just relax and enjoy people in every type of person. I got friends from all over the world and walks of life and faiths and colors and creeds and dork, nerds, studs, studettes, all of it. And I just love, I absorb everybody I meet. I try to absorb something from. And so I think that you can take, the good in most cases and the bad every once in a while and bring it into your own life. And I don't care if you're, in your 50s like I am, or if you're in your 20s, it goes both ways. And I just think really take an interest in people and just dig all kinds of people. Don't surround yourself with one type of person. Go out and surround yourself with a whole village of people.
Yeah.
I did. That's awesome. That's great advice.
Yeah.
Okay, it is.
And just be really, what? If you make it about people, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what you do in life. I mean, just walking. What I miss most right now with COVID is behind the mask of seeing just random people return a smile. And I've learned to watch the eyes. You can see them smile underneath the mask. If we've learned how to do that, right?
Oh yeah.
But I just miss being able to take and being able to see a random person smile.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of cool. You mentioned MTE. We're down in Florida, and it was really cool. It's a little bit nerve-wracking because it was like, okay, if you're gonna get COVID, it's probably gonna be here, at some of the parties and stuff. But honestly, my guard was down, and it was so refreshing to all come together as enthusiasts, as pro enthusiasts, and see smiles.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
All right, so I am a teacher. I do like to assess. I'm going to give you full marks on that one. Okay.
Cool. Thank you. I'm honored because I was a special ed kid, and so I'm alphabetically dyslexic, and so to get a teacher's approval, that didn't happen much in my youth.
No, that's sad to hear. Teaching's changed, Rennie. Teaching has changed.
You know what? I grew up in a here's the to take us off subject. I grew up in a really poor town, and our school district didn't know what ADD was. Check this out. Universe, God, whatever you want to call it. The teacher my 6th grade year when they put me in special ed had just graduated from college. Guess what her specialty was? ADD. Guess what she diagnosed me with? ADD. Guess who went on and passed all the junior high and high school competency tests before he got to junior high? Guess who went on and got a bachelor's degree? Guess who went on and got a master's degree? It's hard for me to learn what I can learn. And what I do, I'm like an elephant, I don't forget. So that teacher, Mrs. Johnson, and a handful of other ones, Mr. Fisher, Mr. Miller, I can say on and on, Mrs. Stubert. I'm 55. I still remember their names. And teachers, I don't care if it's in business or when you're in grade school or wherever you're at, is that teachers make an impact. And so, Rick, hats off.
Okay.
Chris's wife's a teacher.
Amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Chris's
Nice.
wife's a teacher. LI Unified. It's a tough job right now.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Tough job right now. So those teachers are just owns.
They don't get enough credit.
They don't, especially right now. It's a tough job.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, on behalf of all teachers, thank you so much. And we're going to move on to number 2 before this becomes a cry fest. No, honestly, I'm very touched. I'm very touched. Also, part of I know you're huge in training, right? Training is a passion of yours. So question 2 is related to training. So would you encourage the weekend warrior detailers out there to seek professional training?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Because there's so many like 1-day and 2-day courses right now that are amazing. We have a 1-day extreme course, Justin Lobato down at 𝗷𝗘𝗡𝗏𝗦. They're all over the place, manufacturers. We are in such a great time to be in detailing, whether you're a pro or enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
Education's out there, and what they can teach you is what not to do and how to preserve the paint, and all these key things. And a lot of these courses are either really inexpensive or free.
Yeah.
And it's just it's such a cool time. So absolutely, jump into it.
And would you say that, I know a lot of people learn a lot of things from watching YouTube videos, but is there something especially better about doing it in person?
Yeah, it's vetted. Is most trainings are going to go off referrals. They're going to have a good, a good reputation. They're doing it professionally. Teachers, it's just like a teacher. You've got to know. I'm very fortunate. The military's put a lot of money into me to be, to learn how to teach, right? Because I actually instruct in the military still too, in the Guard. And so, it's just YouTube. You don't know who you're getting, and it's like correction at all costs. Well, you got to learn how to use a paint gauge and really what's acceptable for removal. Mm-hmm. How you can, we're seeing a trend right now. For instance, the brushes on drills are starting to really tear up and they thin down the fabric on seats and carpets. So we're starting to see. I won't even call them enthusiasts because most of them are probably amateurs. I think the big difference, mm-hmm. and they're working through this stuff because they just don't know any better. Yeah. And so in a training, even a 1-day, you're going to learn enough basics. YouTube's a very good source, but I think that in person you get a little more vetted information.
Yeah.
Who would think to everybody, not everybody, but people think, okay, let's preserve the paint. But how many people really, let's preserve your fabric and your carpet from damage? You know what I mean? I didn't know that. So I just learned that right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's even putting too much liquid, whether it's a cleaner or just water. When you soften up that glue on the carpet or the foam underneath it, is that starts deteriorating. And if you put the wrong chemicals onto those surfaces, you know, an APC or a degreaser, it just starts doing damage to it. So you're gonna learn those things through a professional, especially there's so many different manufacturers. I mean, again, we could roll through the name. I'm not gonna even put a selfish plug out. There's many of the top producers of products in the industry that are hosting open garages, free 2-hour open garages, man. Sometimes I look and I'm going, holy, we're sharing as much information and knowledge in a 2 or 3 hour open garage that usually is free, or you get if you pay $50, you get that in product, you know, at the store we're at.
Mm-hmm.
We're sharing as much or more than we even knew 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and it's at the fingertips of everybody, not just pros, but maybe somebody that's starting to charge. You know, maybe they're doing it on their own vehicles, and now people are asking, right? Because that's, you know, your neighbors also.
Right?
Yeah, right. Well, now you can start getting really good information, you know, that way. Not to poop on YouTube, because there is a lot of good information, but it's got to be vetted. And even some of the big YouTubers I've had discussions with, because some of the stuff they put out there, it's like reality TV. It's like it sells videos, but it's sometimes questionable.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I agree. You have to see this one comment, Rennie. Check this one out. This is directed to you.
Yeah, I seen this.
Wow, holy smokes. Well, see, that's the sort of kind of stuff that
Yeah.
okay, I get teared up because, yeah, thank you. You know, thank you. Because I never thought I'd be here.
Yeah.
I never aimed to be somebody in the industry. I was just making a living and providing for my family and sometimes providing for my ego, which was a really bad thing to do. You know, it took me down and started a rocky road for about 10 years when I just was unchecked. You know, I was a nice guy and stuff, but I was doing things for the wrong reason. But those kind of comments, it made tonight worth it already.
Nice.
All right. Let's go number 3. So we were just talking about YouTube. How important is establishing and maintaining a strong social media presence in today's detailing industry?
It's number 2 or number 3. The most important is to establish local relationships and social circles. Most detailers in society has, and we're seeing it with the younger, well, even the older generation coming through training, is they're not socially skilled as they used to be. And I think that the concentration of social media is a very easy, cheap tool to use, and it's very important. But I think that the thing that's really missed is people making one-on-one connections in their local community, and then supporting that. Everybody's really good about taking withdrawals out of their local community, but they don't put deposits back in.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's really important to kind of go old-fashioned. That's how we built our businesses. We had 6 shops. And, you know, it was kind of at the start of really the internet. You know, we kind of made our way before the internet hit, but when the internet, it definitely made it easier. But it's I think, you know, we got Oscar Hernandez, if you guys up in 805 Detailing out of Oxnard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's gone in and built this amazing network in his local area, and he's got great social media. So it's a 1-2 punch. So I think if you're not there, they don't know. You know, I mean, you have to be on social media. You have to have a website. You have to have a presence. And really, you know what I see missing? See all these cool pictures and water running across hoods and all this stuff, but I don't see the detailers like in the pictures. Like, I want to see who you are. Mm-hmm. You know, I want to see you behind the polisher. I want to hear you telling me why I should get a service done. You know, and why you're the one I'm going to spend my hard-earned money with.
Yeah, good point.
Very
I like
good
that.
point.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch this replay myself just to take notes.
Absolutely, man.
I feel like I need to take notes, but we'll have this. We'll have this recording, and
Cool.
Yeah,
so
forever.
Wow.
So I know you have some wonderful industry partners, Rennie. You know, you've got the relationship with PNS. You've got the relationship with Flex. And I've put the links to your industry partners in the description of this video, but I want to ask you number 4, who else are you interested in partnering with in a perfect world?
People who share the double P's, passion and profits. And so, you know, we don't know it. Like, so I was a representative for Flex for 10 years, and I just, it's kind of, the Germans were bought out by another company, and it wasn't a good blend anymore. It went from small business to huge business with me. And so now I've got champion, like Griot's just sent a whole bunch of tools. We've got Jason Rose from 𝗏𝗏𝗡 was in here training me over a couple times over the last year. So we've got the whole array of 𝗏𝗏𝗡 tools. You know, I mean, I think the software side of things is getting really interesting. You know, 𝗟𝗩𝗓 and, you know, Rode FS definitely. And then also I think there's some newbies coming in, but you know, we use, it's funny because, you know, I've got 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏𝗡 our product line, right? And I'm so proud of that, because of where I started just trench warfare as a serious enthusiast, polishing my bike, all the way up to coming through the ranks and working through, you know, many years with my hands and wearing my body down, and to be able to take and move forward with a line. It wasn't even a dream. I just never figured I'd do it. You know, I mean, I just didn't have that. So to have the trust in that. But with that being said, I think we've got 70 brands in our training facility, 70 different brands. 70. So there's so many, you know, there's so many great product companies out there that we champion with. I really don't want to champion with. I want to take and move ahead with every single brand. I'm looking at a lot of signage in my shop right now, and we've got more on the way of everybody we partner with. Anybody that wants to move the industry ahead with morals and values. And
how about glove box?
I love that. Let's go.
They got this new thing with the.
Dude, is that cool or what? Is that cool or what? I gotta get.
You gotta get you. We'll get you one.
I've got to get that. I mean,
I got connections for you. I'll get you one.
So cool. So anybody that's moving the industry ahead, we try to champion. We try to bring them on. We try to be Switzerland.
Yeah.
The only people we don't really champion with are the people that are stuck in 1984, that are just teaching, you know, some old-fashioned principles and old-fashioned ways to go about it and slamming each other. Man, I am not. You know, we're down at Mobile Tech. I had Angel Wax, I had IGL, we had a lot of AutoGeek, we had a lot of different CEOs and leaders from those companies in our booth doing podcasts. And so we're not threatened by our competition. We actually rejoice in their success because it brings all of us up.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Tell everybody all the time.
I've got some questions coming up about your current thoughts on the industry.
Okay.
So let's not go down that hole yet.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Yeah, I tell it.
Questions will be held after the 10 questions, right? That's what Rick always says.
I need control, Mike.
I know.
We're going to go to number 5. This one I think is, you know, I'm just going to throw it up there.
Uh-oh.
When did you get the sense that you were a bit of a big deal?
Oh, wow. I still have a hard time with it. 6 years ago when they wanted to name Double Black the Renny Doyle collection, I didn't want my name on it. And here's why. Is I grew up very, you know, going through some toughness as a kid. I grew up in a pretty tough neighborhood. I was, you know, I'm a minority in the neighborhood, which I really didn't feel as a minority at the time, but I guess there were times when I got jumped and beat up. It was kind of a sign that, you know, maybe I didn't fit in quite as good as I thought I did, but I ended up fitting in quite well. I didn't think I was deserving. And so I remember in 2012, my book came out, and I was asked to start by 3 different manufacturers to be a guest at their booths at SEMA.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was walking into SEMA, and this kid yells my name, and he walks up and he asks for my autograph. And I'm not going to lie to you. I signed it. I was almost silent. I didn't know what to do. I called my wife in tears. I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't feel I deserve it. I don't know why people would want to come up to me. I'm scared.
Really?
I've jumped out of helicopters. I've taken direct fire. I've rescued. I mean, I can't tell you how many, you know, deceased people I've dealt with, but that SEMA, I was terrified.
Wow.
I was terrified. And so believe it or not, I mean, I've been on the scene. We've done Air Force One. We've done all this stuff. But even today, I mean, last week at Mobile Tech, people are coming up to me. You know what I do? I turn it around on them. People come up, hey, can I take a picture with you? And I said, only if I can take a picture with you. Because I mean, come on, this isn't, I'm not Brad Pitt, it's like, but here's where I've had to change my whole theory in this. There's dudes and dudettes, because the women detailer, let me tell you boys, women detailers are incredible. They've lost the testosterone. They don't have that competitive gene with flexing like we do, and so they just go out and get business done, and their work and their profits show for it. There's an element that doesn't, but in general they do. I just think that I've stood up and I said, hold on, I'm a regular Joe that's become both physically and financially wealthy with relationships and money from doing a blue collar thing that started out as basically a professional car janitor. And I've been able to take and have a front row seat of playing a small part and change the industry. And I could take and influence somebody that's maybe gotten kicked in the knees a few times and is down, or somebody that maybe is in a corporate job that just can't stand going to work anymore. And I can influence them that they can go do what they want to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we had a lady who started at Royal Reflections. You guys remember that? And she talked about how it's actually a past live stream if you ever wanted to check it out, Rennie. She was down on her luck. She was living high, living the life, and then it all collapsed on her. And detailing was something that she had it was way beneath her. But it was a job that helped pick her up, and now she's built her own little empire, and she's doing really well for herself. And that's one thing I really,
That's right. I've become a millionaire 3 times in my life. And the first time I was in my 20s, and I've done it with blue collar money. And the first two times I did it, I sabotaged myself. I took massive risk, risking it all, partially because I didn't think I deserved to have that money and that wealth. And it wasn't necessarily money, it was investments. And then the other side is I acted like a poor dude because that's what I was. That was the mentality I had. Mm-hmm. So, with success becomes responsibility. And with those responsibilities, the risk when you start making money, the risks don't lighten themselves. They actually increase as you start making more money and as you become, have audiences. But, I still don't feel like I'm not a rich dude, because rich, I think the word rich is horrible. I think wealthy, because I look at my lifestyle, I look at my wife, I look at everything around me, the ability to give back to people, that's a rich life. That's a wealthy life, and the money makes it okay. Let me tell you, anytime somebody says, nah, the money doesn't matter. No, bull. You can do a lot more help. You can help a lot more people when you've got assets behind you and you don't have stresses, Yeah. And so I remember those days of not knowing if my ATM card was going to work at the gas pump. If I really needed products, and I bought, a quart of degreaser when I really should have been buying a gallon or 5 gallons. I didn't have the money, I had to buy that quart because I had to get through the next 3 jobs just to make enough to buy the products. Wow. And so I remember those days, and those are humble. And you know what? Looking back, I'm going to tell you, those are amazing days, man. It was all passion. It was just wanting it so bad, not having to ring a bell at work and I got hundreds of bosses now because it's all customers.
Yeah.
But oh man, I just, for those people that are looking at getting into this full time, don't give up.
Yeah.
Awesome. Which is a really good segue to the next question.
Wow. So ironic how that works.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? But it's something you see happening, Rennie, in the detailing world that pleases you.
A couple things. We already talked about it, education. And we're seeing what I call, guerrilla warfare or trench warfare detailers starting to get really savvy. They're getting business savvy, marketing savvy, money savvy. They're hiring on CPAs, bookkeepers, all the things, making investment, pre-tax dollars. They're doing all these amazing things, right? It's all part of education. The second part of that is we've got a very sophisticated crowd coming into detailing that are leaving corporate jobs where they're very successful. Attorneys, doctors, dentists, that are fed up with what they're doing and coming into our industry. And that's just, man, I'll tell you what, that's bringing the game up, you know. And
Yeah.
you're seeing it in profits. You're seeing it. We just saw it at Mobile Tech. In 2 years, you know, it was 2 years since we had a Mobile Tech. I could not believe the sophistication that has hit our industry. Is the people, it used to be we'd put on a really powerful class and 5-6 people would be in it. It was packed, standing room only in every single class.
That's crazy.
Nuts.
Awesome. I mean, it makes a guy like me stand back when I was doing my, and I only do one a day. Everybody says, why don't you do more? And I was like, because there's a lot of other cool voices in the industry, and I want to go hear them do it. I don't want to hear me get up there for 9 hours a day and talk. Man, it's boring. You know?
Yeah, who wants to do that?
I'll give one powerful one and get out of there, you know?
Yeah.
I sat through classes and my jaw just hit the ground. I was like, man, this is, there were 6 of us that go all the way back to 2004 going to Mobile Tech when there was only 6 detailers there. And then 2004, that was 2004. 2006, there was 9 detailers there. Now there was over probably 400 or 500.
Whoa.
Oh, it was unreal. That's what I said. Whoa.
Definitely a growth industry. Let's take a little break on the questions because there's one of our favorite, one of our friends. He asked this question a while back, and I bet he's freaking out that I forgot it. And I think we'll take a little pause here. It says, Renny Doyle, at some point in the stream, can you talk about your Chevelle?
Oh, look at that. You know? Okay, so this is cool. So I was in my 30s, and our oldest daughter, Ryan, amazing girl. She's a helicopter pilot, and served in the Marine Corps, and just got engaged. And I don't know, she's just this powerful. Matter of fact, I'm terrified of her. She's that strong. She was 4 or 5 years old, and I was looking for Chevelle. It's kind of my reward for kind of, you know, doing some cool things. I'd set it to where, okay, when I reach this financial goal and we're bringing in this much money, I'm going to go buy a classic car. So she was 4 years old. So this was 24 years ago. eBay was just hitting it, and she found this car. The original owner. I'm a huge Air Force guy. 2 of my favorite planes, 3, P-51, F-4 Phantom, and the modern day F-22. This guy was an F-4 Phantom pilot. And he got the car the day I turned 6 months old, and he shipped out 2 weeks later to Vietnam. He owned the car. We bought it directly from him. Everything's the same except for the paint. 327 Power Glide, and we were talking off camera earlier. I guess we're going to let the cat out of the bag, but in June it's going in and going to have a full resto frame, you know, body off. Everything's being done to it, and I'm blessed to be able to do it to it, you know. And already my baby, I can't imagine, you know. But it's a daily driver. So when I bought it from Southern California, we're living in Idaho at the time, and I drove it from SoCal to Idaho, and then we moved back to be with my mom when she got sick, and I drove it back from Sun Valley to California.
Nice.
I didn't trailer it. I drove it.
Nice.
That's what it's about, man.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So it's a big piece of our family. Here in May, our last kid at home. They're freshmen, their first day of high school, it takes them to high school, and then their last day of high school, it takes them their senior year. So in May, it takes its last high school trip with my kids, and then it goes in for a body, you know, for a complete, you know, just down to every nut and bolt.
Are you gonna document the series?
We're going to.
Nice.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
then it's pretty cool. You know, this is cool, and then we're kind of letting it's nothing in writing yet, but you know, we got 2 major networks talking about us right now about doing a series on detailing, and so that's one of the plans is to kind of document it because it's actually detail friends of mine that are actually they do restoration too. So
okay,
they're going to do the resto. They're in Tennessee, so we're going to document it, and hopefully if there's a series involved, it'll be documented on on the big stage.
awesome.
Nice.
I look forward to that.
Me too.
Yeah.
All the best and good luck with that one.
Definitely.
All right, we're going to go back to number 6 here. Well, we're going to start number 6. Oh, that's the one we did. That asked what pleases you about the industry. 7 is the flip side. What is something that you see happening in the detailing world that concerns you?
You know, this overspending, man, these big shops, people aren't planning, you know, they're marketing to detailers instead of, you know, they're flexing a lot. I really worry that there's a lot of money coming in, but you know, it used to be that when I was young, about every 5 years, we had a little bit of a blip in the economy, and we really haven't had a blip in about 10 years. And I think there's a whole generation of detailers that just think this is going to keep going. And I worry they're not financially prepared. They haven't put money away. They haven't invested. They're just spinning. They got a 5,000 square foot shop when they could do it out of a 2,000 square foot shop. Those things really, you know, the forums, the amount of hate that comes down with the pros is pretty disgusting, you know?
Yeah.
They tear into each other and product, you know, somewhere there might be a product line that some, you know, gal or guy worked really hard on, and a lot of people love it. And then one, you know, troll just goes on the, you know, on the kill and just destroys it. That, you know, even if I don't prefer a product, I'm not going to tell the world that, and I'm definitely not going to talk bad about it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That is so true.
Sorry, that was more than one thing. Sorry. You know,
No,
okay. That's okay.
We're here to learn from you. The more you
had-
tell us, the more we'll listen.
We just
All
had
right.
a big troll encounter lately, huh, Rick? On that glove box glove box video. Gosh, man, like, come on.
yeah, I don't
there's
get it,
something
man.
suspicious about trolls like that. You wonder, how does this spray of liquid matter that much to you to have such a strong opinion?
Right. Yeah, and it's your opinion. Why? I mean, I know, but I mean, you know, I don't know. It's just, we had an encounter too, and honestly, one of our younger members in our group really called me out because I did something I usually don't do, man. This guy got underneath my skin, and I was tired. I'd just come back, I think, from drill weekend, and I saw it, and he sent me some stuff, and it was just ridiculous. And man, I went on and made a post I wasn't very proud of, and I had to come back, you know, about 12 hours later and modify it. And I usually don't get like that. And just now, you know what? It was a lesson. Just delete, you know, block and delete.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? The next questions are they're a little more fun. They're a little lighter.
Yeah.
And they're honestly the ones that we do take notes on because we've learned a lot throughout. You know what I'm going to ask? Hey, Eric, I could see you already smiling.
Yeah.
So tell us, what is your favorite way of rewarding yourself after a successful day?
Oh boy. You know, I'm trying to be a better husband. So pleasing my wife and touching her, you know, and telling her I love her. I'm really trying to, because I get so focused, you know, that God, how can I forget such a simple thing? But I'm pretty transparent. You know, I love my dogs. We got 4 of them. My old boy, you know, we don't know how many years we got left with him, so I really pamper him. I love, you know, my horse, Rip. And Rip, if you watch Yellowstone, he's not named after Rip. He was born before the show came out, and that's his birth name. Let's get that out. So, his name's Rip, and he's just a lot of personality. He's the one that, you know, earlier today, you know, I'm a green rider. He's only 7, and he saw a plastic pool sitting off the side, and he thought it was a UFO that was going to attack him, and Martians were going to come down and get him and eat all 1,300 pounds of him. And he did a 180 with me on him and took off. And I was, you know, I'm glad he was mature enough to, you know, listen to me. And I got off and walked him home. I was scared to death. You know, I was just, you know, I'm trying to learn that. You know, I mean, really serving in the Guard, I be able to take and serve in the California State Guard at my age and put the uniform on. And I've been on a lot of cool missions, you know, and search and rescue, giving back to the community for 30 years. I take great pride in knowing other people's successes, and search and rescue. A lot of it's been pretty grim, especially in my younger days. We don't have quite the grim stuff we used to, but there's a debt that comes with doing that. And I'm really fortunate that God's given me the ability to deal with some of those stresses in the correct manner. And it's something that's really, it's been a lifetime. I can't imagine the day I have to give it up.
Yeah.
Just, you know, it's a lot of people don't realize that about 95% of the world's search and rescue missions are done by volunteers. And, you know, I'm lucky to be on the volunteer side. Rip and I now are joining the mounted side of things. That's what him and I are doing in the military. And he's actually, this is cool. You guys know how they use dogs for scenting and sniffing out lost people?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
horses are doing the same thing now.
Really?
Chip and I start training next month for air sniffing. He's really good at it because he's kind of like me. He's a little full in the midsection, so he likes food. And so he's got a really good nose, and we're hoping that he can go out and make an impact, save some people.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what? Bucky VW told me all of this in a text that you just
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a man crush.
Basically, he talked about it, your passion for search and rescue.
Yep.
He talked about your patriotism, your faith, and your family, and how they're also important to you, and the hustle culture, and guys doing things by the book, and keeping their overheads low. Like you've got some dedicated followers out there, Rennie.
And let me tell you, let me hit on thank you. So I see there's the unsure of me. I hear that, and God, I just want to crawl under a rock. I do it. It just makes me. But I'm going to admit something right now. I think why I lecture the way I lecture is I didn't get my marriage and my kids 100% right, and the stress really broke me.
Yeah.
And the stress from seeing dead people and everything else. This sounds morbid. The stresses of business did a lot more damage to me as a man than all of that combined. And I just know there's people out there that are feeling it, that are started with nothing, and they push themselves so hard that they not only break themselves, but they can start breaking the people around them if they're not careful.
Absolutely.
Thank God it wasn't a lifelong habit with me. Thank God I don't drink. Thank God there's a lot of things I'm thankful for. But I own my mistakes so others won't make them.
That's cool.
Awesome.
That's good.
All right. Changing the mood a little bit.
Spirit fingers.
Gain instant expertise in one area. What would it be?
Whoa. Marketing.
There you go.
Marketing. If I could just be like a marketing guru, we've done okay, but man, I watched some people's. I mean, even you guys, your pictures on the RAD. I mean, I look at stuff like that, and do you guys ever watch some of the social media and you're going, holy crud, who does their creative? It's just in the eye and in the positioning of the photo. I mean, I'm not that guy, and I wish I was.
Rick's that guy.
I'm always impressed by people's creativity in marketing. Even as a kid, I memorized the commercials. I could care less about the TV show I was watching. Like a clever marketer with a creative artistic touch. But I think it's kind of funny that you say you're okay at it. Like you're somebody I think millions look up to.
Well, but I think part of that's by luck. But hey, you mentioned something cool. Hold on. Let's go back. How important a message is. This is really cool. Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Special orders don't upset us. What brand is it?
Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce.
Special orders don't upset us.
It's not Canada.
Dude, no, it's not. No,
Burger King.
Burger King, right?
Yeah.
Burger King from the 80s.
That's from the 80s.
I don't remember that stupid song.
I remember the 2 all beef patty, special sauce, pickles, onions, lettuce, seeds on a 70-seed bun.
That's exactly it. Yep. And so it's like okay, for your guys' name, RAD. Yeah, I was around a young person in the military, and all of a sudden, and I'm talking like somebody in their 20s, right? And they go, "That's RAD," and I was like, "Whoa, what'd you just say?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's RAD." And I said, "Is that like popular?" "Yeah, it's really popular." That was like a thing in the 80s. No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it was.
Like Converse.
Yeah, RAD, man. And so I think that you guys, that's a saying. It catches on.
Yeah.
It just Absolutely. For the record, I'm RAD Garage. These guys are just wearing my merch.
I like it. I like it. It works. Makes
I just
me
don't want
to
them thinking that they own a piece of me now.
Paid for.
No, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
You got to support. I always tell everybody that I help anybody that messages me, and honestly, that's what I'm about, is helping people. People will message me and ask for advice, and I will answer any question. I say, if I don't know it, that's fine, but if I do, I will help you, because we're all in this together. That's why I tell everybody, we're all in this together, man. Like,
especially if you're cool and you're nice and you're not mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're going to pass that information down and help other people, I'm all about that. But, there's a way to go about asking people, and there's a way not to go about asking people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's correct.
Well, I'm actually a little upset that we're at the last question, but we're still going to continue on with our chat. But
there'll be plenty of questions in the chat.
before we went live, you showed a little a piece of your history with Eric and Mike and I. Would you mind talking about that with viewers?
So this is, I'll tell you, I mentioned that, you know, I'd become a millionaire twice. So the first time I become wealthy, I gave it away to somebody. Didn't give it away. I made an investment with somebody, and it was somebody that I really wanted to take and get more into my life, you know, and I was warned not to do it, and I still have no regrets of doing it, and I lost it all. And the first thing I bought when I started my current journey was, that's all I could afford, that and some soap and some towels, $20. And so this nozzle sits by me. I don't take it anywhere. I keep it on my desk. It means a million to me because it's a reminder that I started with nothing, and it's okay. It's okay to start with nothing. It's what you end with, and how you go about it, and how you invest in it, and what you put back into people that are in the same spot, you know, or like
Heck
spot.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And so that novel means a lot to me, and you know, it's a symbol of what I owe other people. Because when I started this, a guy named Dave Morris, he stepped up. One thing I didn't do. This is how pitiful it was. I lost so much. We didn't even have money for Thanksgiving dinner, and Dave and his family invited me over, and I told him I'd been looking at getting back into detailing when all this happened, and I just really loved it. And I wanted to kind of put my mark on really developing shops that just did, you know, cutting edge services on both aircraft and automotive. And he goes, well, you know, Rennie, I'm a corporate pilot. We got a jet down there. I hate washing it. Do you want to go down and show me what you can do? And Dave put me to work, and it started. That was it. That was that was it.
That's
Crazy.
awesome.
That's awesome. And
That's
again,
phenomenal.
I don't know. You're like, the segues are just beautiful tonight.
Yeah, they are.
Definitely.
It's going to take us to number 10, which is a question we've asked. Actually, no, this is different, guys. I switched it up here. This one I kind of customized for Rennie.
What?
Last question. Is there something special from your past that you wish you could have back?
10 years when I let my ego get in front of me, and I just wanted to keep building something big. It was all about the size. It was all about the money. It was all about my credit score. I was poor. And if I just would have calmed down, I'd like to, you know, I'm a guy that I live with few regrets. I think you can look back and go, man, I would have, should have, could have. Why don't you just do it? And not, if you did things in my middle daughter one day, she goes, Dad, you lived too much in the past, man. You just got to look, you know, you got to look forward. Don't ever look back over your shoulder again. And honestly, since you said that 4 or 5 years ago, I really haven't. I really haven't. There's also no saying, and it's really become popular now, but there's a reason why the windshield in the car is so big and the rearview mirror is so small. It's more important where you're going than where you've been.
I like that.
You know,
That's freaking awesome.
I wish I could have those years back, but here's the problem. I think that leaving my mark, and I've already seen it in the mafia now. We've got 20 some odd people in the mafia that are now millionaires, blue collar millionaires. I wouldn't, if I didn't do those things and had those experiences, and if I couldn't own them to the best of my ability, I couldn't influence other people to stop it right now, wherever you're at. You might be in your 20s or 30s. I had my mind right when I was in my 20s. It's when the pressures of being married, kids came along, and what I thought, you know, it meant to be a dad and a husband, and I was completely wrong. It was completely wrong. And it took me witnessing the death of a dude that I was kind of becoming him, and he was a miserable individual. And he had to look at my face as he took his last breath, and I was like, man, I don't want that to be me. You know, I just don't want that to be me. So, you know, sometimes I'm hard on myself, but it's for a purpose. And again, it's exactly what, you know, Eric said just a minute ago. It's about helping other people. And for me, it's, you know, my goal is to make in the next 10 years to make 50 new millionaires out of blue collar work. You know, so I want to take and build, and that doesn't mean the term millionaire is so loosely thrown around. Listen, it took me a long time to get there, and to do it right took me way too long. You know? And I'm not, it's the hardest thing, one of the hardest things I ever did. But what it is, it's not that hard to do. And honestly, being a millionaire, if you look at today's standards, I mean, just to be a single millionaire,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I mean, yeah, it is. But here, if you just start saving and you invest in real estate, buy your house, don't worry, you'll be able to do it. And I know times are tough right now. interest rates are low. I'm more concerned with the interest rate than I am the price of the property, you know? And so start out right now. I don't care if you're 20 years old or 60 years old, is be financially responsible, because when you start taking it and getting rewarded financially and you're free and no debt, know the difference between bad debt and good debt, is when you start doing that is, gosh, man, there's so many freedoms that come with it.
Absolutely.
That was great. I could tell I broke the heart of my co-hosts when I told them I changed the last question. And I don't know where I got off doing that without speaking to these guys first. So I'm going to have to extend it to one more question.
I'm having a ball, guys.
Bonus question.
And the question I'm about to ask you is, we've asked a lot of people, and man, the diversity of the responses is just amazing. So take a second and think about this.
Yeah.
Bonus. What is a recent non-detail related purchase that left you highly satisfied?
Oh, wow. We're into overlanding. And so, the truck market right now is insane, right? I mean, global. To go out and buy a new truck. And I was looking for a power wagon, a Ram power wagon, because it's got all kinds of, matter of fact, sitting right here. I got to spin this around because you guys are car people. So it's got my new camper on it. But there it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not modified yet. I'm waiting on all the parts for the suspension and everything else. I want to tell you, I found a shop. I'm a big time shopper because, again, I'm thrifty. I want to take and get the best deal I can. My experience, I looked at every brand, all the dealers. Damn, they were greedy and they were not nice.
Right now they are. Yeah.
Oh, they're greedy, man. And I found this one dealership. It was 4th of July. I remember it was the 2nd of July. My anniversary is on the 3rd, and then here in the United States, 4th of July is a big deal. And the guy called me back on the 3rd, and he goes, I've got 2 of those Rams. And they're harder than heck. It was a 75th anniversary. And I said, well, I want one. What am I going to pay? And he goes, well, I can't. Let me send it to you. And I said, let me tell you right now, I'm not a guy that's going to pay $20,000 over sticker.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, let me ask you, how serious are you on this? And I said, you give me the deal I want, I'll be down there on Monday to get it. And he goes, okay, good, because we can't do anything. We're so booked up this weekend, we can't do anything. He calls me back later the day. He goes, you got a bid coming to you right now. Look at it. If you're willing to give us $1,000 deposit. He sold it to me for sticker.
Wow.
Nice.
I didn't get a discount, but at that point, I was kind of happy.
Yeah.
And here's the kicker. 48 hours later, he delivered it to my house 2 hours away.
Wow.
Yeah, we have it stick.
Ram just did it. And so it was an amazing experience. And then I got to tell you, airlines are really interesting. My flight to and from Florida with United, man, the staff was unbelievable. And here it comes down to both of those. What was it? It's an expensive truck, but it was the service.
Mm-hmm.
Another dealership said, hey, we'll match it. I said, you're not nice. I said, this other guy's working for it. And I'd rather give him the commission because he's so polite.
Yeah.
The flight attendants and the pilots on this flight were unbelievable. It comes down. Would I spend extra money to fly on United now? If they keep servicing me like that, I'd spend 25, 30% more just for the friendly smiles and the friendliness and not being grouchy.
Exactly. That is huge. When me and Mike first started doing these live streams, we wanted to basically shed light on these smaller companies. Because, you got all these big companies, they got the marketing, they got the money for it. And I said, you know what, you can have 2 of the same exact products, but it's the people behind the company for me.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Amen, man. I'm all about the people.
I'd rather spend $5 more for a 16-ounce bottle with this guy because you know what? He took the time to reply to me, answer my questions, and he wasn't rude about it. I have no problems giving him my business.
And here's the thing. We're all service providers, right? We do blue collar work. Because we always tip our maids at a hotel. We give them $5 down every day. I happened to walk in at Mobile Tech. I had to go back upstairs and grab something. And in the room, the room was being cleaned. And this gal walks up to me and she says, I got to thank you so much. And I said, why? And she goes, nobody leaves tips. You've left one every day. It's $5. I mean, I almost feel guilty. I only left $5 at that point because she's so nice. So what I did last day, I asked her, she said, are you on tomorrow? I'm checking out. I didn't have to leave anything. I gave her a $20 bill. I'm not bragging. I'm telling she was so sweet to say thank you. I felt and if you're running a business, even part-time, this is something important. I feel indebted because I knew she's working hard for her money. She's probably got kids or grandkids at home. She's got rent due. She's got all the other challenges. She's got to wear a mask all day long.
Yeah.
In my room, I want to tell you, we had extra towels. We had extra water. She set us up. And we didn't do it for that reason, but it was a benefit of getting it. So don't be afraid. Don't forget that we're service providers. And when somebody provides us, you're at a restaurant, tip them and tip them good because they're just
absolutely.
Good advice.
Nice.
Always.
With our remaining time, I think we gotta show some of these. 𝗟𝗩𝗘𝗦𝗧, that's Bucky VW. He keeps asking about your Subaru.
Subaru's sitting right here. It it's got a lot of track days on it. Oh no, it doesn't. Hold on. Let me, in case Subaru's watching. It has been meticulously cared for, but I blew the engine. I blew the engine in it. They did, Alex. They replaced the engine. It's got a whole brand new engine in it, and it's going bye-bye. I don't know what I'm going to get. I said I wasn't going to get anything, but I fell in love with 2 cars like today. So I'm trying not to go test drive anything right now because I kind of want this thing gone. And it's like, man.
How did it blow up? Did the pickup tube crack?
What they said when they called me is they said it basically looked like a Chernobyl. When I
got a WRX sitting in my driveway out here.
Yeah.
Did you tell them it's never seen past $3,000? You never know what
I
happened?
said it's been the old lady from Pasadena's driven it, and the guy just laughed. But here's the real story: is Subaru, the dealership I went to, they had 4 engines in stock, so it's a common problem right now with these 2019s. But it's a lease, but I'm getting some great offers to sell it, and pay off the lease. So I think that's what I'm going to do.
I only asked that because I know the older. I don't know about the new ones, but the older ones had a problem with the pickup tube cracking at the weld.
Yep.
And you lose oil pressure, and there it goes. And
it might have been, when it happened, I at first thought, and it could have been the fact, I thought I blew the turbo. So I might have been passing somebody kind of aggressively when I did it. And I kind of heard a weird noise. And then when I went to step on it again, I called Chris and I was like, dude, I either blew my turbo, I blew the engine. I think I blew the engine. He's like, no way. And about 30 seconds later, I blew the engine.
Since you're a car guy, I got to show you my baby, man.
Okay. Show me your baby.
A 98 GSX.
Oh. Yeah, I'll
it.
take that right now.
Yeah.
I'll take that right now.
And when it's raining, the wife sits outside.
Oh my God. That is more that color. Oh, that just ooh, man. That's pretty
my baby.
So what I got a question for you guys is to start, what's your the ride you have right now that you love, or your dream ride?
Oh, well, I just showed you mine. I had one in high school since 2004, and I had it for about 15 years. And that's where my passion for detailing started. Was every Friday night I was washing, detailing my car, getting ready to go out and go to the meets and do all this and do all that. And I put every paycheck I had into that thing. And
I remember those days.
It got
my neighbor used to yell out, "You're gonna wax the paint off that thing."
I had it for so long, and it was basically a part of me. I mean, 15 years of memories.
Oh, wow.
And it was sitting out in front of my house, and some drunk lady totaled it. I mean, just completely totaled it. And I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated. And this just proves everything happens for a reason. I came across this GSX, and it just fell into my lap. And I don't know how, why, or what, but God was shining down on me, because you can't find these. You cannot find these. And
wait and see what you're worth for a little while.
The interior is immaculate. And
what year is it?
It's a 98.
Wow. Holy crap. That's a 98?
It's a 98, yeah.
Wow. Holy smokes. See, I love that. I love when you see these cars that are, not new, and they just you can just tell it's just passion.
Absolutely.
Just passion. And you can hear it when you talk. So Rick, what's your ride or dream ride?
Well, as you guys were talking, I'm an Audi guy. That's my favorite, and I currently have a bread getter SQ5. I call it my grocery getter, but I would love to get something like an RS3, or maybe go back a little bit and get one of like an RS4 Avant, something.
Oh God.
Something when Audi was not quite as well known for performance as they are today. One of those early Audi special cars, which I've been very fortunate to meet a lot of people in my city who collect them and care for them, and they've helped my channel grow by letting me work with them. But I don't have one of my own, and I think that might be my 5-year plan, is to get a Sunday driver.
There you go.
Rennie, dude, I'll tell you this, Rennie. If you ever get like an hour just to sit down and relax, you need to go back like 3 or 4 months of Rick's videos and just watch any of his videos. They're beyond awesome.
Oh, I got to do it.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. I'm
they're
dead
full
freaking serious.
entertainment. You're not going to learn a thing.
If
That's okay.
If YouTube had the Oscars,
Yeah, that's it.
nobody would show up because Rick would take them all.
Oh, I like it. Now that's YouTube is on my TV in the living room constantly. I'm just TV these days is a couple shows I like. It's boring. YouTube's exciting.
Yeah.
You know? And we're car guys, so I mean, I like watching the small guys. You know, so I got a funny story. There's this dude that's really into overlanding and off road, and I just Trail Recon. I'm going to put a plug out there. If you guys anybody's into jeeping or overlanding, this guy's, he served in the Navy. He was a chief. I'm a chief in the Guard. I was into overlanding, but I've learned so much from him. Well, I'm up in, we live in the mountains, right? Southern Cal. Mm-hmm. We're coming out. We just had a big snowstorm. We got the power wagon out. We're kind of taking it with the camper out for the first time to see how it handles. Come around a corner, and he's there. He's standing there. I lost my mind. I swear. I even told him I had a boy crush on him, and he's like, "Okay, he has no idea." But it's just, you look at the influence. I mean, going back to YouTube, that passion, man. I mean, it feeds that passion. On that side of it, you can't beat YouTube, because if you think the information's kind of honky and not right, it isn't. It doesn't mean that you can't take the passion out of it.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, we didn't get your input on your dream car.
I like trucks. So I mean, I do like diesel trucks. F-250. I had F-250 for the longest time, but the Ram, the new Ram, that's next on my list. It's probably going to be. I'll probably have one by spring.
Well, I'll tell you, you're not going to regret it. I mean,
I know.
It's this thing's got the Hemi in it, and we were cruising down. We went up to Utah to go skiing. The speed limit through Utah is 80. This thing was 90, and I didn't even know it. It was like driving noise counseling in the cab.
Yeah. The seats are unbelievable. You get that big old freaking touch screen and speakers.
Yeah. Just unreal. So I'm pretty
speakers, the mega cab. You get the back seat can recline.
See, you named all the reasons.
Yeah. That's why I want the Ram now.
Well, Mike, I know you're gonna get that. That's gonna happen for you for sure.
Yes, it will.
Absolutely. Mike's a hard worker, everybody.
You need to come down, and we'll take it out overlanding, and we won't do anything crazy. We'll just go out and have a good time, get in the desert or mountains, and go out and have a campfire.
Yeah.
Mike, I think me and you should make a tag team trip out to the shop.
Come down. We'll do a podcast. We'll do a live one from here.
Oh yeah.
I'll be able to make it.
I will be down.
Yeah.
You guys are always invited, man. Anytime.
Heck yeah.
Rick, just hop on a plane, man.
Yeah, I'm ready. You know what? I got the vaxes. I've already had COVID. I'm coming.
There you go.
Right. You're golden, man.
Get down here.
So, Mike, just as we're wrapping up, give viewers a little idea what's happening next on our live streams.
What's happening now? Okay, let me pull up my nifty camera. My nifty phone.
I know in 2 weeks we've got another cool dude named Brandon coming on. Not that Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon with was it Pristine?
Shifted Perspective.
Oh, Shifted Perspective. Yeah, Shifted Perspective. And then in March we will have 2 of them.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turbo Wax. They're out of over here. The camera's over here. Turbo Wax. They're out of Florida.
Yep.
And then we have
Is it Black Rhino?
Black Rhino.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Like it.
We got them also huh?
We do these every 2 weeks, Rennie. We were doing it every week, but we found that it was just hard with Saturday nights. You know, people got kids, people got things to do.
Yeah.
But we're so darn thankful you agreed to join us tonight from your amazing workshop in Big Bear, California, right?
So let me ask one question before you go, though.
Oh, okay, Mike.
Hopefully this won't take long. How did this happen?
Dave, our chemist. So Dave's the Dave and Bob. You know, their dad founded this product. And I'm going to tell you the real story around BeadMaker. Not a lot of people have heard this, and we don't keep it secret. But Dave came down when we were building Double Black, and he goes, "You know, I had this product sitting around. I developed it about a year or 2 ago, and I think it's kind of cool." So we sprayed it on. It was on a white car and on a silver car and on the Porsche on the Boxster S. And it looked really nice and smooth. But we went to lunch. It came back and it cured. And once it cured, I walked back in and I go, "What the hell happened to my cars?" I was like, "Look at the gloss. Not much stick to it." So it was literally sitting in a tote, untested, unproven for over a year. And Dave finally released it to us, and we released it to the world, and it's been a wild ride since.
Wow. So which came first, the BeadMaker or the DreamMaker?
BeadMaker. DreamMaker is
first?
relatively new. So, and I'll tell you a cool stack. If you guys want to take and even get more out of BeadMaker, spray BeadMaker down, let it cure for about a half an hour, and then put our paint gloss over the top. It creates an anti-static charge to it, and it will make BeadMaker last a little longer.
Okay, repeat that one more time for us. Repeat that one more time.
So lay down BeadMaker, spray it on, wait a half an hour, and then come back and just mist Double Black paint gloss on the paint. Just mist it on thin, rub it in, and it becomes semi anti-static. It's pretty badass.
Nice.
Sitting out of Boise, Idaho, our detailer out of Boise, he's the one that figured that out. And it's and then another little trick. Paint gloss is amazing. If you got dog hair in a car, you got to get it out sooner and faster. You spray a little because of the charging and stuff. You spray a little bit of paint gloss on and use your glove, and it comes up like in twice the amount of globs.
Oh wow!
It's unreal.
There you go, people, right from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Wow. So so I got a couple more questions before I let you go. So,
Okay.
I'm all excited now. I'm
too.
excited. So if say I didn't know nothing about detailing, and I walked in to the Hayward shop.
Yep.
Right, and I see all these products. They all freaking look amazing. And I had no idea what I was doing. Tell me 5 products I need to buy.
Oh, definitely BeadMaker.
Yeah.
Definitely paint gloss. Definitely our carpet system. It's Carpet Bomber, Terminator, Finisher. Oh my gosh, there's the 5 right there.
Okay.
But I mean, wow, I could keep going on. I mean, I'm looking at Pearl Soap is in my hands every day.
Okay.
And then probably, believe it or not, my favorite coating from us is our basic coating, Soul. I mean, it's a 1-year coating, so to say. I hate those year terms, but I put Soul on everything, and it smells good, and it's easy to apply, and I can do it every 3. It will last a year, especially on a well-maintained car, but I put it on my cars every like 3 months. I'll just give it a good cleaning, clay it, and then put it back on without any correction.
Nice.
It's good. So there's my product choice, but it's cool. And DreamMaker was built with the enthusiast in mind. It's not no protection really. Maybe a week or so. Oh my God, the pop that it gives paint's just incredible.
Yeah. So where do you rank your brake buster if that's not in your top 5?
Oh man, there's another one because I use it on. So I use it on engines, I use it on tires, I use it on wheel wells, and I use it on wheels.
Yeah.
So it's another one and here's what's really cool about PNS. Here's what's really cool about both Dave and Bob. They want to create a product line that's super, super effective, but one product does more than one thing. And I think that's a really cool baseline with the company, because so many people will repackage other products and want to sell you just a whole line and list of products, where they'll just list out what everything it does and sell you one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
I mean,
awesome.
Iron
I love it. I absolutely love the
Yeah.
3-step interior system. That
Yeah, I heard the 3-step carpet thing is off the hook.
It is. And the Express Interior's off the hook. It smells good. It kind of looks good running. I mean, it's just, there's so many. I mean, really what we're doing is in the double black line is that we keep our boutique, our really, really, really go-to products in that line. I mean, that's the ones we'll work with pros and enthusiasts alike. There's a whole lot of other products in the lineup, but those two, I mean, paint prep is for prepping before you coat. It's one of the best glass cleaners we've got. It's unbelievable. And it's a great clay lube because it will go through and clean the surface. So again, one product, multiple uses.
Awesome. So I don't know if Rick will get mad at me, but can I ask one more question?
No. We're on a roll now.
Okay, cool. So let me ask you this though: how in the heck did you detail the Air Force One?
Rick asked me this earlier. Relationships.
Okay, I know, but I mean, for you to say, I want this guy to come detail that thing. It's just not like I can just pick a guy to come detail. We were in Sun Valley, Idaho, and Sun Valley is a pretty high-end market, right? That was where our main office was. And we had a couple different companies up there, and this guy, through one of our other companies we owned, he was asking one of our other workers, hey, do you know anybody that details airplanes? And he goes, well, ironically, the couple that owns this company, he's at the airport now. You want me to take him by? So we met him. I did a couple basic jobs for him. And then as I got to know this guy, he had some pretty incredible planes. Well, it turns out, you know how the ends of wings turn up now at the end when you get on air? Those are called winglets. This guy's name was Joe Clark. He was the inventor of winglets. Oh, wow.
So he's on the board of directors for a little company called Boeing.
Wow.
So 2002, I get the call, and we did the first Air Force One I worked on was the one up in Seattle that's on display. It was the first presidential jet aircraft. It was the first jet to be known as Air Force One. It served all the way through. Kennedy flew in it, Johnson flew, Nixon, and then right before it went into Carter had it, and then they had a second. There's always two of them. But in 2003, we got the call for the 747s that are currently in use.
Wow.
For the Air Force. And so that's where it went. Well, Joe Clark talked me into donating half the money back to the museum, and he helped me get a letter from then President Bush that would allow us to use the term detailer of Air Force One. So
wow,
we did it, and I got to meet. I got invited, and I got to meet then President Bush at a luncheon as a detailer.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's unreal.
It's all who you know, right? Relationships.
It's all relationships, man.
That's phenomenal. So now that you are in another big relationship that has phenomenal polishers, is that relationship can eventually be tied in to where when I walk into a store to a P&S store and I can say, wow, look at all these great products. Can I see Flex in there also?
Probably not. Flex has changed directions. They're still, honestly going after the pro market, but they're owned by a huge company. If you guys go into a Lowe's, you'll see Ego products. Ego, well, the company that owns Ego owns Flex.
Okay.
So Flex is really turning towards the enthusiast market, and I think we still have a strong relationship with them. But I think that, what it's allowed me to do is be more Switzerland and get involved with not only Flex, but Rupes and other companies. There's a company called Dynabrade that's coming up with some really cool tools. They've been around for 100 years, but they're coming back into detailing now. So it's real exciting to see what they're doing. We've got Rupes, of course. It's awesome. So it really puts me in a really good spot because now I've always had all the polishers as a showcase, but now I can showcase them without a pointed angle. I can take in.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? And it's like everybody when they come in, like Monday we start a 5-day, and the first question out of their mouth is, "What's your favorite tool?" And I always tell the students, my favorite tool is the one that you like best. And so we lay out 20. Now we'll have 29 different polishers on the table. And they're expected to use every single one of them during their 5 days.
and that way it gives them a good selection. Most of them walk out with 2 favorites.
Crazy.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome.
Absolutely.
Is there accessories that P&S does not have that we can see coming? Or do you guys have everything?
We've got a couple different things. We've got a really cool thing for our interior. It's called the Sidekick. It's a custom-made scrubber that fits over your hand. That will be introduced at any time. And then we've got some really cool. I can let that one go because it's going to happen pretty much right now. We're just waiting for production. There's a couple other products that are in the works that we'll be showcasing before summer that are going to be cutting edge. And then at SEMA, you're going to want to hit our booth up. There's a couple things that are going to hit the market that's going to be, I believe, game changers for the industry.
I'm excited for that.
Similar to what Glovebox did, game changer, or something bigger than that?
No, that's pretty dang big.
Okay.
There's going to be a piece of equipment coming out that's pretty cool.
Okay.
I'll do that, and then there's going to be, we're into reusables, so there's going to be probably a new product that's a spray applied product that's going to be pretty cool.
Okay.
Might see a change up in our compound and our polish.
So Humberto wants to know about the bike that you lost and found later.
Well, that's a great one. So this bike here is actually a replica. So in 1970, God, this is going to age me. In 1979, I built a mongoose. I saved up all my detailing money.
Oh, those mongooses were nice.
Oh, it was cool, and I customized it. It had 3 generations, what I call 3 generations. And I was one of the early went into the pools. I wasn't a BMX guy; I was a pool guy. So the other guys were going on skateboards. I was going on my bike, and I had retrofitted it with all aluminum oxide wheels and stuff like that. I had it at football practice, and it got ripped off. And I was devastated because that bike meant the world to me. Well, last year I found a replica of that, and I've got it in the shop. I wanted the real deal. They're out there, but they're more than motorcycles right now. And I'm just kind of frugal still. And there's stuff I want to do to my truck, and I like tacos. And so I don't.
I like tacos too.
And so I did. I kind of wanted to have the memory of my bike, mainly to show people, listen, man, you're doubting yourself because you're working out of the trunk of a car. That's okay. I worked out of a wagon towed behind a bicycle. You're doing good. Work out of your car and be proud of it. You're working out of your garage. The most successful time of my business is our youngest daughter is 4. She was going to kindergarten. I was really fortunate. We built a house that had a back shop. And I decided to do all my high-end detailing. My shops did all the normal stuff, but coatings had come into play. 2005. So I'm doing all the paint crushing coatings out of my garage at home. And I was really kind of embarrassed when I started doing that. And then I found out is that my customers come in with Ferrari or GTR or whatever it was by 2009. And I look around, they're like, hey, are you going to take this one to your custom shop and do it? Can I get that deal? Can I get you to work on it? And so I was able to charge $1,000 more just for me taking it out of the shop, keeping it for a week. And that allowed me to spend time with my daughter and just kind of do detailing part-time and manage work on my business instead of in my business.
Crazy. Well, I think I ran out of questions, Rick.
Well, you did take us into overtime, but that's okay.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
You do not need to apologize. You got us some excellent info. I think Papa Smurf went to bed.
I think the little Smurf was out wandering around.
I think a little one was.
We aren't pros at this. We're dads who are doing this on Saturday nights.
Right.
But let's give the audience one last chance. Listen.
If you guys got any questions now, I mean, there's still a lot of people still watching. So if you get any questions, pop them in the comments now. We'll pop them up. And
that one right there. Okay. I have a good friend of mine, SR71. Definitely. I just named my 3. So, so I got a good friend of mine. Matter of fact, he's a friend of mine from Idaho. He was on our podcast. Get this, man. Neil, he was an SR-71 maintenance crew chief in the Air Force. He also worked on the U-2 spy plane for 20 years. He was on our podcast. He's one of my best friends. The SR-71 still to this day is one of my favorites. But I also look at things that I had a slight possibility of flying, and that one I would have been the stupid kid on the block and not been able to, in that. And so, the SR, I mean, anybody that, it's funny because one of his friends was a pilot, and he once told me those things were known for leaking, right? So I got an audience with an SR-71 pilot. The first thing I do is I said, "Why did that thing leak so much?" He goes, "No, son, it didn't leak. It was marking its territory." So Neil, there's what it is.
All right.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Neil's he's an avid viewer. He always has excellent questions and connections.
He sure does.
Topics.
Bless your dad for serving our country. Tell him I said thank you. Hopefully he's still with us.
Sorry, guys.
He probably knew. I bet he knew. My buddy, and it's just he's a dear friend of mine. Go back and watch that podcast, and he's on it. He was here in my shop, and it was unreal.
Here's your number one fan, Alex.
Alex guy.
I'm humbled, and again, I've really gotten a boy crush on you on social media. So keep it going. Well, it is. You get those people that you just like their wholesomeness, of what they do, and he's one of them. And
he's very wholesome. He spent his Thanksgiving coming. He came. Sorry, Rennie, I interrupted, but he spent his Thanksgiving. He drove up 2 hours to come see me to help me put a chair together.
How cool is that? That's a
chair that I'm sitting in too.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. And that's my main goal. I'm not after having the biggest brand. I'm not after being a Joe Rogan, podcast. I'm not after any of that. All I want to do is every time I speak, hopefully I can influence somebody to make some different decisions or the right decision.
I love it.
Well, here's someone who needs your help making a decision. Sorry.
Yep, sorry.
Cat Guy 64. Martin wants to know Nano or PXE 80.
Oh, both.
There you go.
And here's why I say it is because both of them, there's things that you just can't, you got to have that long neck to get into the tight areas. And then on headlights, the Pixie's my go-to. I love it on headlights, So I mean, really both. If I had to, I don't know if I could choose one,
That's
because
fair.
they're both so. Okay, so if I only had money for one, ooh, God, I almost hate to say this, I'd probably start out with the PX, the Pixie. But you have to have that long neck to get into like intakes on Porsches and stuff like that. You got to have it, it just fits. And I know they got the extension and stuff. Did you guys see the new Flex, the Flex attachment that goes on to the Pixie now? That gets a little closer. That thing, I just got two of them. They just came in the mail. I was playing with one of them down at Mobile Tech. That thing's it's the best flexible. I call them Flex 2 polishers I've ever used. Most of them are kind of chintzy, This one's cool.
I've got the extensions for mine, and they're awesome. And Mark, he just asked you that question. I think he just picked up the attachment, the extension with the attachment. You put the little cone in there, and
now they got the little flex tube that kicks onto it, and you can get up underneath it. You can actually bend it up in there. It's cool. It's cool.
Mark was playing possum. He already has both.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He's got both. And again, which one's bad boy? I don't know. I'm a gadget junkie, so if I see it, I have to have, and it's a bad quality. Don't, if you're doing this like for passion, that's cool. Get all, if you can afford to get it. But if you're a professional, if you're making good money, do it. But you got to be real careful. You'll just go nuts and spend way too much money.
Yeah, like I said, later tonight when you're just chilling, you want to see passionate and a lot of stuff. Watch Rick's videos. You'll see passionate all over the walls.
It's going to happen. I went on and tonight I went on to the social media and I was like, the pictures, I was just like really jealous. I had shrinkage. I was so jealous.
Absolutely, Mark. You got to have the right tool for the right job, man.
Yep.
Well, you know what, guys? What do you say, Rennie? We'd love to have you hang around so we could just have a little debrief behind the scenes. But thank you for giving us what I believe to be one of our best, if not our best ever live stream. You're a very inspirational guy, and I know you probably don't like to hear that, but you've touched a lot of people, and you know, you've touched all three of us tonight.
Yeah.
I'm honored. I really am. And I want to get you guys on. I love your passion. We want to bring you on a podcast and get you on. And any way we can help out, you know, you guys bring us on, man, anytime. The invites,
Sweet.
both directions, you know, if you guys, I mean, I meeting you guys this way now and seeing your characters, I'm sold. I'm just, we need more people like you in our industry. We really do. Not that we don't have a lot of good people, but we need more good people.
Well, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
And Mike and Eric, thank you.
Anytime.
You guys, you started this all off, and then you let me kind of jump on the bandwagon.
Nah.
At some point, I'll become too big, and I'll start my own podcast, much like Joe Rogan.
Bullshit.
And you know, the first time when I missed, the only reason I did is I got into a new unit and they changed our drill schedule. So I felt so bad, but I was at drill and I was like, okay, how am I going to work this from base? Where, you know, you think U.S. military, we have this amazing, like, you know, 7G, you know, connection. No, it's like dial-up. You know, it's like,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
horrible. I was like, you know, I'd have to take off part of my. It was like, oh man, this is. So I apologize for that, and I'm so glad we can make it on tonight. Seriously,
No,
thank
it
you.
worked out great.
And also, I'll just throw a plug in. I have a video coming out, premiering tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you have not yet subscribed to any of our channels, links will be in the description, which will be available right after the stream.
So, Rennie, stick around. To all our RAD viewers, thanks for coming. Thanks for making this so much fun, everybody. And have a great rest of your weekend.
See you in 2 weeks.
Definitely. Thank you, everybody.
Guys, thank you.
Stay rad, everyone.